Valley Podcast, episode 29, baby.
29.
It only took us 29 episodes to not fuck up one number episode to say. You know?
That's it.
Listen,
and we spoke about it before we even came downstairs.
Almost forgot. We almost forgot again.
But that's a good thing. That means we've been doing these things for a while now.
Yeah. So today we got
experts,
a very interesting guest. I'm excited to hear this one. Matthias, I'm going to let you do your intro.
Yeah, do your intro.
So our boy Luigi. All right, a.k.a. Plumber.
Okay.
Black belt. Monster Jiu-Jitsu. All right, he's done it all. We won't even talk about what he does for a living. Just know he is here.
It's not sex related.
It is not sex related.
Unfortunately, no.
Do we have to put that little R in the description when we
restrict?
No, because they rated R.
Rated R.
Jesus Christ.
Look, he said I have 2 hours of sleep, bro. I'm tired.
Luigi's about to be like, Mom, I made it.
Plumber is one of our good friends. We've known him for a while. We all live together. We all do jiu-jitsu together at one point or another. And we're just really happy to have him here. He's got a different perspective than most of our guests, which is going to be a great experience to hear, your stories and, how you've overcome some of these things and how we still continue to overcome some of these things. We've had some great conversations in the gym, and you said, I like to dig deep. I'm not a surface kind of guy. I want to ask questions and see how you, quote unquote, made it. Right. So why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
But before you even get to telling about yourself, I want to let people know how you got here today. Because we were rolling about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
2 weeks ago to a week ago. And remember, I've known about his stuff a little bit, briefly.
Are you making fun of the fact he couldn't get here, or you mean how he got here?
No, that's not what I thought. Because it took him 4 tries to get here.
It only took him 6 wrong turns.
I get picked up and escorted here, but that's a whole other story. That's how he got to the house.
But you don't have to walk 1 mile to meet him in another road to walk him.
Even with the freaking address.
I had the address in my GPS.
He's still using MapQuest.
But I know you've been dealing with stuff for a little while now, right? And 2 weeks ago, we were rolling, and as you were choking me out, you're like, hey, man, I want to share my story. And I thought that was pretty, how can I say, brave of you, right? Because not everyone is ready to share this story. And when you get to that point where you want to share your story, I commend people that do want to share the story. Because I was one, and you guys know that I didn't want to share my story. I was cool with just being me and not letting anybody know anything about me, and I'm cool with that. I'm not here trying to say that I'm a hero or that I had the worst life ever. But when we were rolling and as you're choking me out, you're like, hey, I want to be on. And I thought he was actually messing with me because he's choking me the fuck out. He's telling me he wants to be on the podcast.
Did you make the noise?
No, I didn't make it. I just almost fell asleep. So the fact that he actually said it and I was like, I actually was choking me out. I was like, yo, you serious? He goes, yeah, no, for real. I was like, oh, that's awesome. Yeah, we would definitely love to have you. Obviously, so it was 2 weeks ago because I remember I had to work nights last week, and I was like, the week after the night shift, we'll get together and we'll make it happen, right? So it was, again, I applaud you and I commend you for being, available to try to be vulnerable and share your story with us. So thank you for being here with us.
Yeah,
I appreciate
I've been working on that we're trying to work on that for a while. Matthias and I have been fucking talking to you about shit for 2 years now.
Damn.
Yeah. Just in the gym, like in goals, just whatever. If shit goes wrong in life, it didn't even matter the situation. I would go to him, and he's been like an inspiration in a lot of it because he came to that podcast that I used to do, and he shared his whole story. And there's time I'll even reach out to him on Instagram and shit sometimes, and just kind of ask him for guidance. He was always kind of one of those people that you can.
We always have one of those, right?
You can look up to. Like I have a few of those. Not even in like that kind of state, but even like when I get tired, right? Like the other day, I was at the gym. I'm on the Stairmaster thing because I'm trying to grow my ass. I want to look good for the summer, right?
Salad buns.
So I'm trying to grow my ass. So I'm on the Stairmaster, right? So I'm on there for like 8 minutes, and I'm like, this sucks. And then I look over and I see, that guy that trained. He's like 92 years old. He's an ex-Marine
With the Marine shirt, not the former Marine. Not ex. He's a former.
Yeah.
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 There's no ex-Marines.
You're saying
You're saying
the 92-year-old.
I love taking pictures of that guy. He's in there like this,
Dude,
like looking around.
He's doing tricep extension with like 15-pound weights, right? And I'm like, yo, that's what I do that shit with, right? Like, yeah, I know my shoulders fucking, but like, I'm like, yo, he's lifted as much as I am, and he's walking in there with a cane, like, and I'm just like, I get to do 8 more minutes on this thing, like, you know, I have guys like that I look up to for that kind of stuff, and like, you know, you're one of them too, where I'm just like, I think I was doing legs the other day, and you were at the gym, and I was like, well, I can't fucking complain now. Like, I gotta get.
Well, it's about the things that he can do, right? That when people complain, it's like, oh, I have this and I can't do this, and I'm like, look at this guy. What's your excuse?
Yeah,
like this guy doesn't make, he doesn't make excuses. Like he goes to the gym, he does jiu-jitsu whenever he can, right? Whenever he can.
I promise I will be back.
Former jiu-jitsu practitioner.
I will be back. I will be back.
So whenever he can, right? He does jiu-jitsu. He works out. He goes running. Does the Murphy challenge and everything else that he does. The baseball with the Wounded Warriors, right?
I like I said, baseball
with the Wounded Warriors.
The most Dominican way possible.
Most Dominican baseball.
That's how we say it.
Oh, boy.
You know, Big Papi.
Hey.
That's how we say it.
Greatest baseball player ever.
And then, so I understand what you're saying. Like you use him for inspiration because it's like, what's my excuse?
Yeah,
you know. What you got?
So
tell us about you. Tell us about, like, you know, obviously you're black belt in jiu-jitsu. How is that something that you got into, and do you feel like that's something that has helped you with the things that you go through as either an outlet or teaching?
With everything in life. So, like, I'd say 20 years old, right? And I'm in the Plumbers Union at the time. And
Plumber, aka Plumber.
So we had this one kid, right? And I'm still really good friends with him today. His nephew trains. He's in the city too, Nicky Munch. So his uncle, we're in the Plumbers Union, right? And we had to show something we do outside of plumbing, right? So he shows jiu-jitsu. I'm this 20-year-old punk kid, like I'm in good shape because I'm working out at the time. And I look at him, he's like 120 pounds. I don't know, I keep hitting the thing. I'm sorry. Fuck that. No, but anyway, so right. I'm like, there's no way that shit's gonna work. I go, I'm 200 pounds, like I fucking lift heavy, like he's 125 pounds soaking wet, like there's no way this shit's gonna work. He goes, and we're not as good friends as we are now, but we were good friends, you know. So he's like, come to my house, I'll show you. So I go to his house. We're on his front lawn. He lived in Farmingville, up on like one of those houses on the hill.
On the hills, yeah.
Where like his front lawn is probably the size of this deck, like the bar here. Yo, he starts showing me some shit, and he twists me up into a fucking pretzel. And I'm like, I gotta learn this, right? To the point where I went back the next day. His mother, this old Italian lady, is like, you guys better not fuck my lawn up no more. Go. I don't care. You better stop playing around on my lawn, whatever. So we go to Home Depot and buy 2x2 mats, like as many as we can. And we line his basement up, and I trained there for like 6 months. And that's how I got started in that.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's cool.
But it helped me with like everything. Just like, it doesn't matter any situation. If you could be comfortable there, everything else is easier. That's why, like, I love to start my day doing it. I love to train in the morning because everything else is going to be easy for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
Like, I got that shit out of the way. Like
being choked by sweaty half-naked men. Yeah,
that's what it is. Like, problem solving.
It's human chess.
Let me just rewind you for a little bit because I feel like that's kind of like who you are now. You know, you're like this. You know, you talk about inspiration and stuff. I look at you, and that's the great thing that we can all admit about jiu-jitsu. It's that it humbles you. It really does keep you grounded in who you are and like the people you're around. You know, you're training under Tarek Manji, one of the best jiu-jitsu practitioners known to man.
Yeah.
Okay. And if they don't know him, they fucking better Google his ass. All right. You look at Derek, and again, another one, just a humble dude, like, hey, how are you? Nice to meet you. You would never really know. And then every time he walks into that room, it's like God just walked in, and people are like, oh my God, Derek's here, you know? And that says a lot about who you are as a person, to be a black belt in jiu-jitsu, to have, you know, overcame whatever it is that you're going to talk about in a little while. And end up saying, I look up to somebody else who's not a black belt, who's not in jiu-jitsu as much as you are, that maybe has a different story. So I think jiu-jitsu is a great demonstration on how we can, like Angel just said, I think, was playing chess, right? Learning to play chess, because we're so used to life being that movement, right? We all learn checkers when we're younger. You know, we kind of get used to like hopping over here, hopping over there. But then you have different pieces to the game, right? And in chess, you can't use all those. And once of them is gone, you're no longer the same. You don't have that game in front of you anymore.
Yeah.
So
let's adapt.
Exactly. So let's get away from that adapted new mind, Luigi, and let's just go back to like maybe where you were born, where you were raised. You know, how were you raised? Where did you go to school? Like that kind of thing.
I went to school in Hicksville. I was actually born in Brentwood. Lived there. I was there till probably, I think, around 5. I think I went to kindergarten there, or maybe like a pre-K or something, and then finished the rest in Hicksville. Growing up was definitely not who I am now. I grew up with, I'll say, I grew up with an alcoholic father who, like, he'd come home drunk and, like, beat us and shit. Like, there was one time, I remember he had, like, this rock collection, right? And I think I moved a rock, and my mom knew that, like, he was going to come home, like, all pissed off. So she, like, kind of corners us, and I'm just like, oh, shit, like, Dad's going to come home, see that I moved that rock. And I'm like, I don't know, 10-year-old kid at the time. And, like, I'm going to get fucking hit. And, like, I remember just being so scared to tell my mom, like, that it was me. I might even lie to her, told her, like, it was my brother or something like that. And, you know,
are you the youngest or the oldest?
I'm the oldest.
I'm the oldest out of three.
Yeah. But, like, it was just constant fear like that. Like, they're all covered up now, but I have scars just from him coming home and shit like that. So, like, I know that's played a big part in how I was. And I just remember him being angry all the time. Like, always angry at shit that we did. And I didn't know any better. So when I have 3 kids, my oldest 2 got the worst of that. Cause, like, they see that, they saw that side of me.
Yeah.
I didn't change into, like, how I was, like, not all happy all the time, but, like, I didn't change into that till later on, till I was, like, 27, 28.
So do you now find yourself working extra hard to not be like your dad in that aspect? Because he could have been a great dad, just had some flaws, obviously, and we've spoken about stuff like that here.
I've tried, like, I find myself trying to do that, and I do kind of do that more. So I have another kid outside of the other 2 that lives with me. I feel like I do extra for her almost to make up for the other 2.
Gotcha.
Like, like, I feel bad in a way. But, like you said, I am
Can
trying
we hit you up with a quote now?
I was just about to say, what's your favorite quote?
Can we hit you up with a quote now? Because I see you getting a little choked up, and I tell you that might happen, right? We've had plenty of people here that get choked up and start crying, and it's normal. So one quote that we actually love is, give yourself grace for not doing better when you didn't know better. You know what that means, right?
Yeah.
So you didn't know better, right? That's all you knew. And unfortunately, we have spoken about the generational trauma that we carry. We've all had our own traumas that we carry from growing up with certain parents, right? We've all shared stories here on the podcast about those kind of stories.
And I'm kind of going through a similar thing with that now. So I won't get into what I do for work, right? But I just switched companies. And for 3 years, I was doing it. I was a certain way, right? And now that I'm with this other one, I see how much different things can be. And that it wasn't that quote exactly, but one of the guys that I'm working with said something very similar. And he's like, listen, you just didn't know any better. Like, you didn't do anything wrong. You just didn't know any better. Because I was telling him, like,
he dumbed it down. It's the same quote.
I was like, yeah, he didn't say it in that way.
Yeah,
but
he dumbed it down. It's cool. I get it. I'll take the credit. I'll take the credit. It's cool.
But because I went to it one day and I was like, yo, I feel bad. Like, I feel like I could have done so much more for what I was doing. And he goes, yo, you just didn't know. Like, get them back and let's.
That's it.
We're gonna take
from here on out. It's gonna be different.
And I was like, all right, you know what? That makes me feel so much better.
Of course, you have your whole life ahead of you, and so do they. Right? I know they're still young, in a sense that they're not married, they're not out anywhere, right? So you still have plenty of time. It's a whole lifetime ahead of you guys for you to make up for things that you think you didn't do good, for you to do better, and things that you thought you did good but could do better. Like, you have your whole life ahead of you, and they have their whole lives ahead of them.
I'm trying to extend I go to the doctor all the time. Like, I take TRT to try to keep my life going because I want to live to 100. Like, you know,
you want to be there for your kids. I get it. And again, for you to now look back at like, hey, I've been carrying this trauma since I was a kid without even knowing it, right? And now I'm passing it down to my daughters. But now you know. Yeah. Like, now you know. Yeah. So now if you do it, now obviously shame on you if you do it now knowing better, because now you do know
like
better.
I see it with my older daughter who she's like, I can see when she's like, I hate everybody. And I'm like, you can't, like, I know you saw me like that, but you can't be like that. Like, the world's not that bad. Like, and I'm trying to slowly, help her out, work on her with that.
Of course.
But like, it's hard seeing that. Because I'm like, yo, I know I have a part of that.
You know, one thing. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, in a way, but I think one of the best things you're doing, which is one of the hardest things, which again, with Angels, that we've talked about, is the fact that you were able to look yourself in the mirror and see these things. Because a lot of people don't have that, right? A lot of people would say, well, they can fucking worry about it, or whatever else their answer is going to be. And I think you're taking the right steps with your oldest, right? With saying, hey, listen, you're taking accountability and saying, I get it, because I was that way.
Yeah.
And over time, she's going to be able to look back and say that you were able to connect with her in a way that a lot of people weren't, right? Because a lot of people, it's one of those things you read about when they're like, when your child's going for something, don't demean them. I hate everybody. Don't fucking say that. You're getting on a personal level saying, like, listen, I get it. I understand where you're coming from. And she knows that, right? Because if you feel like part of the reason that she thinks that way is because of the way you thought that way, then she's also going to see how she can change her own mentality based off of how you have changed yours and how you're approaching situations, which again, a lot of parents in general aren't able to do.
It's validating her feelings and being like, hey, I understand. You probably got some of that because of me, right? And the fact that you're willing and now accepting that you probably have part in playing that role, and now you're trying to help her become a better person by, hey, listen, the world's not as bad as you think. I understand that I had to play in that. I know better now, and I'm trying to help you, and I understand where you're coming from because I felt like that at some point in my life. But it's not a bad world out there. You know?
Yeah, no, it's really not. I mean, there's shitty things happen, but at the end of the day, it's not bad.
Yeah.
Shitty
things happen to good people all the time.
Yeah. I can tell you one thing is that, we had discussions, conversations at the gym, kind of like two-part thing for me, from what I see as a friend and somebody from the outside looking in, and somebody who's kind of maybe been in your shoes too. Number one, I can tell you're fucking hurting. All right. That's the biggest thing. You've told me that, and makes me want to cry thinking about telling you, you're hurting, and we've been there as parents. And what sucks is that you're a man and you're a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and you don't see yourself like your father, right? Like, your father was hurting, and this is what we talk about. We got to learn what these things mean. Like, you're not alone. Like, you're a generational traumas, like shit like that, bro. You know what I feel for my dad? I feel bad for my dad, because my father was also a boxer and tough guy, and he'd come home and fucking beat the shit out of us, throw pianos through the door, beat the fucking door down with a bat. Like, my dad I should have him sit there one day so he can get the shit out of him too. Because I think, number one, like, people talk therapy. Therapy's helpful because you get it out in the air. And then other people can go, hey, man, I either A, understand what you're going through, or B, like, holy shit, I feel the weight of it. So from what I can see, you're hurting. And this is the step number one that we've talked about. You're talking about it with friends. You're in a vulnerable and safe space where people that are listening, bro, we get messages all the time on social media that hit home, especially the pet thing. I thought people were going to be like, what the fuck? People are hitting up like, dude, I just lost my dog and I couldn't sleep for fucking 4 days.
Oh, that's a hard thing.
That's a hard thing to deal with. So here's what I would say from my perspective as a father, and these gentlemen are fathers too. I feel bad for my father. I feel bad because he was hurting and he didn't have nobody to go, you know what, man, it's okay. So then we could have been better for our kids. He could have been better for us. But then we got to go back to the quote, give yourself grace for not doing better when you didn't know better. He didn't know that he was doing these things. You caught it at an early age where you're like, all right, shit, I got all my fucking life ahead of me to be a good father, to be a good mentor, to be a good representative. Because you know what my daughter does? She is a fucking mime. She's not a mime. She's a mimic. She's like very similar to me. She does what I do, and it's like, do as I say, not as I do. I tell my daughter, don't do this, don't do that. And I'm like, fuck, I do this, I do that. Yeah. So I got to stop telling her to stop doing shit and stop doing it myself.
And show her.
And show her, which is what you're kind of getting there now, which is why you're saying you spent so much time with, your oldest because you kind of feel bad. There's nothing wrong with that, but you got to also do the best you can with what you got right now. And it's a path, right? It's a journey. And
it's a hard thing to go into because she's also not used to me being that way either. I mean, now she kind of, but like even now as she's getting older, like it's hard to even bring that conversation up with her because she's also 17. Like,
it's a rough age.
Yeah, like that. Like even today, she tells me I've been trying to get her to go to Fogo de Chao because she loves steak. So I've been trying to get her to go there for like 2 years. Right, Brianna, let's go. She texted me today. Hey, Dad, there's an all-you-can-eat steak place in the mall. We should go try it out. I go, for the last 2 years, I've been trying to get you to go to this one in Huntington. But your cousin comes home from college, she tells you about it, and now all of a sudden you want to go. Like,
so what you do as a dad, you go, I'm going to shut the fuck up. I'm going to go, all right, great. And you keep it to yourself because in your mind, it's a lesson that you learn. She ain't going to learn it until she's probably your age.
It's crazy.
You know
I
didn't do that. I told her, I was like, I've been trying to tell you this for 2 years. I'm like, I love that you want to go there. I go, I have you next weekend. Bring a dress because you got to get dressed up and we'll go out to dinner.
It's awesome.
But what's crazy? I have the same thing happen with my 19-year-old where I would say something. They will probably say the same thing. But then I have a friend that's younger than me and says the same exact thing. And for some reason...
She connects better.
Yeah. For some reason, what I said and what they said, it was like, oh, okay. And then somebody else that's younger than me and knows her too says the same exact thing. And it's like, oh, yeah, this person said this and that. I was like, oh, no shit.
Bro, I say it all the time. And especially with this, what we're trying to do right now, sometimes it's not the message. It's the messenger.
Yeah,
we might have 1,000. We might have 1,000 people on the show, and you might click episode 17, and you're like, holy shit. Bro, we've been saying that for 16 fucking episodes, and I just got it. It's about the timing, bro. Yeah. Life is all about timing, which is why
you connect with.
With the people you connect with. Sometimes you just have a special connection with somebody.
Yeah, and I think going back to like the jiu-jitsu thing, like I think that brings that connection out faster, and like and better, and it like. I was working up in Connecticut years ago, right? And I was there for the whole, like months. So every week I would go, Monday to Friday, I would be up there, be in a hotel. And I found a place to train, right? So second day I'm up there, I'm training. Third day I'm up there, like I'm going out with these guys to get dinner and stuff like that because jiu-jitsu brought that connection out. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, everyone else up there is like in the hotel and they're all like unhappy with everything. They're like, well, oh, this guy's going out again. Like, what the fuck? Like, we're just sitting in the hotel. I'm like, yeah, because it's
a brotherhood.
Yeah.
It's a brotherhood.
Yeah.
It's like the military, like the PD. You find the people that you click with. You're
camaraderie. What's funny
is camaraderie.
Some of the guys we roll with, I've seen them at Home Depot. Actually, Oliver and another guy's kids are on the same T-ball team. So I'm like, oh, shit. Oh, shit. Yeah. Oh, shit.
I see guys at Harper School all the time that we train with. Yeah. Like,
I go places, same thing. You guys know, I'm a loner, so I go places and I'm like walking around. Somebody's like, Angel, and I'm like, the fuck? Like usually, I usually like I know a lot of people, but I don't like I'm not that friendly, and they know.
We know.
So
It's not he's not friendly. He's friendly. He's just not approachable.
Well, so
I gotta know you to feel comfortable with you.
And I am the same way, but I've been working on that for the last, I'd say probably 3 years. So I went away to Utah snowboarding. It was me.
He's snowboarding.
Yeah.
You said back in Japan, didn't you? Like
Yeah, I was in Japan in January. I'll go into that. But so the reason I'm working on that, though, is because I used to be like that all the time. I'm like, yo, I don't want to talk to anybody. Like, I want to be whatever. I'll talk to who I want to, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So, or I won't say their names. One was a UFC fighter.
Bob?
Yeah. Bob was a UFC
No.
fighter.
We already have a Bob. We have a Bob.
Shit.
You got to use somebody else.
Gary.
All right, great.
Gary was a UFC fighter. And my other buddy, Mark. Actually, he fought, I think, Bellator. Like, they were, they're pretty well-known guys.
Known. This is the Bellator.
Well, so
let me shut the hell up before I get choked out.
So anyway, right? So we kind of brought that up, right? Where one of them was like, "Yo, I'm shy. I don't really like talking to people that I don't know, whatever." And I'm like, "Yo, I'm the same way." I didn't say any of this out loud. I'm just thinking like I'm the same way. Then he tells the other. So Mark tells, what was the other guy's name? Gary. Yeah. I'm gonna fuck up these real names. But anyway, so he tells him, he's like, "Yo, I remember you told me about 10 years ago that you're very shy, you get like anxious, like social anxiety and shit, but you force yourself to go and do it. And you force yourself to go and talk to people like that. I started doing that, and it got me like friendlier and all that." And I hear these guys talking, and I'm like, yo, to hear that these two guys who have fought in front of thousands of people, like the one guy was a top 10 UFC fighter, like to hear this, and I'm just like, fuck. Or if they're like, there's no reason that I can't, like, not be ashamed that I do that, but like, there's no reason that I can't force myself to go up and try to talk to somebody, even though like I get very closed off and all that. Like, I can open up and try to be more approachable and try to be better. And I started working on that because they started talking about that. And then I think I actually told them that, because they were two of the people I went to Japan with. And I told them that while I was there. I was like, yo, because I forget what they said. Something like, oh, yeah, you don't we were talking to one of the kids that was there about like being shy and stuff like that. And he's I go, yeah, I'm really shy. He goes, no, you're not. You go up and talk to everybody. I go, yeah, but, and then I finally told those two, like, yo, the reason I do that is because of you guys, like what you were talking about. And they were like, oh, they go, I didn't know that at all.
Influence, man.
But like, it got me, I was like, all right, I can, even though, yeah, I'm shy and I got like, I guess it's anxiety going up and talking to people, like, everybody kind of has it. Not everybody has it, but like, you're not the only person.
But that's the thing. I was the complete opposite. I was very friendly. I was always out. I was always talking to people.
Then you went backwards.
And I went backwards. It's exactly what happened. Actually, I was like.
So I met you.
Exactly. You met me after the fact. People used to say I was the life of the party. I loved the attention. Like, I was always like happy-go-lucky kind of guy. And then in life, going through whatever the fuck I went through, things happen where I have no desire to meet new people. I have no desire to make friends. I have no new friends. So it's not that I'm shy. I'm not shy by any means at all. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'll talk to anybody, anywhere, about anything. And I'm pretty good at holding a conversation about anything. I'll fucking fluff it up and make you feel like I know what I'm talking about without knowing it. You know what I'm saying? I'll fluff it up. But I don't have the desire to have those connections, that meaningless connections. Like, I don't want to waste my time on small talk. I remember when I told you earlier that I'm a friend. When I'm a friend, I'm a real friend. That's what I mean. Like, when I make friends with somebody, it's because I actually think you're a good person. Yeah. And that's the connections I want to make.
I'm like, on that, because I never gave people like, I guess outside of jiu-jitsu, like I never gave them a chance to show me they were a good person. So like if they're not, like if I could kind of tell if like how you are as a person pretty quick, right? If I could tell that you're kind of just a piece of shit, I'm not going to keep giving you that time.
Yeah.
But now I give myself the opportunity to at least actually get to know somebody, like without judging them.
I like that. Give myself the opportunity to get to know people. I like that.
I do like that. So let's get like jiu-jitsu and now your upbringing, your father. Like what would you say was been probably one of the most challenging things in your life? Something that really, like, looking back now, you're happy that it happened because it made you who you are, but in the time was probably like the fucking hardest thing that you dealt with. You know, like for me, example was like the anxiety, right? Not knowing what the hell it was, and you know, it creeping up on you, the side effects, the physiological changes, the thoughts.
He likes that word, physiological.
Physiological. It's I love it. What was yours? What was your other favorite word?
Don't remember.
You got a couple. What was it? He used the word that he loved it.
I don't know.
He said it.
We're 29 episodes in, bro.
Indubitably.
So we said so much shit over here. I don't remember.
So we don't remember what the hell we said. But what would you say that was like the peak of like, all right, I'm really struggling with this. I don't want anybody to know I'm struggling with this, and I finally got help with this. Like, what was that like for you?
Honestly, probably like at the time, the divorce, that ended up being like the best thing. But like I guess like every serious breakup, right? Like they all in some way like mentally drained me, right? Like I know I've talked to you about it.
Oh, you're a hopeless romantic.
Yeah. The worst one was actually recently, like, I don't know, a month and a half ago, 2 months ago.
Shit.
I was only with her for like, I don't know, not even 4 months. Like that one fucked me up worse than ones that I was with for like 6 years.
Because the one that's 6 years long has its ups and downs, like, you know, it's good times and bad times.
Yeah.
And you're kind of like, all right, I'm tired of this shit. A 4-month relationship, you would hope that it's like fresh,
honeymoon,
honeymoon, like everything's great. And then when it ends, you're like,
a lot of lust. When you think it's love sometimes.
It's like drinking a fucking bottle of Coca-Cola and just throwing half the bottle out. You're like, what the fuck, I just got started, you know?
Yeah, pretty much. But like, I wasn't thinking Coca-Cola. I was thinking of
Coca-Cola, but I haven't had one in a while.
I was looking at this rock right there.
You know you can drink whatever you want, right?
I gotta try. I can't even get here. You think I'm gonna be able to leave?
He's sober.
You think I'm gonna be able to leave?
He's sober.
I couldn't even follow GPS here. I think I'm gonna get out.
Angel's gonna walk you home in your car.
At this rate, call my Uber.
Uber's not your last name.
So a 4-month relationship fucked you up.
Yeah, but like everyone did in its own way, and that like getting over that and not really talking to anybody about any of it, like that's probably been like the toughest, at least mental aspect to like handle.
So what did you go through with those? Because, we've had people reach out and talk to us about, hey, can you talk about divorce? Can you talk about losing somebody that is close to you? Because I think a lot of people do struggle with that, right? Because you rely on that person, whether it's been 4 months, sometimes a month, you don't control how emotionally attached you get to people, right? We don't have any control of that. But everyone deals with it a different way. But I think that is one of the hardest things is you lose that, again, no matter how long they've been there, that other quote unquote the other half of you. What did you go through? Like, what did you feel? And then how did you go through processing that? Because a lot of people, again, that's where they turn to self-harm or drugs or alcohol or depression because they can't get through the emotions they're feeling.
So I like the divorce. Actually, I turned to the gym and like I would just stay there, but like I would, especially like with this last one, I would just kind of I'd go back to my old self where I was just quiet and like, I'm going in, working out and getting out.
That's because that's where you feel comfortable.
Right.
That's what's natural to you is to
well, not even back. Just like jiu-jitsu, like going to goals. Like I'll go there, lift and then leave. Like try not to talk to anybody. Like I just want to go there. It'll clear my head. I'll feel better for like, whatever, 20 minutes, half hour. Because to me, I'm not going to, I don't want to take any pills or anything like that. Like I saw my cousin overdose. Like seeing him, I was just like, yo, I'm done. I'm not doing any of that shit. So I need that little break and then I'll be all right. Like, but knowing that eventually one day, like,
sometimes
I got to think of it like for every bad thing, there's going to be something good. Like everything kind of has a balance. And I know we've talked about this a lot. Like every time I'm going through something like horrible and it sucks and I just like, I don't want to be there. Like I know at the end of it, it might not be right away. It might be like with this last, like it might be 6 months from now. It could be tomorrow for all I know. But like, I know something good is going to come from the shit that I went through. Like it just, in my mind, it just has to happen. Like I just have to get through it. I don't know how I'm going to, but I know at least that's what like keeps me going is that I know something good is going to happen at the end of it.
How can you say that you were at your lowest point in life, where you were like at your lowest of the lowest? And I have something to say about that afterwards. Where you were at your lowest and you felt like you bounced back, whether it took you a month, it took you a week, it took you a year, whatever it took you to bounce back. At what point in life where you felt that you were at your lowest point in life?
I've had a few times where I felt that, like a couple weeks ago, and then also like a year ago when my last relationship broke. That was like a 3-year thing. Before that was when my youngest, when me and her mom split. Like it's always around like a breakup. The divorce, I was actually kind of happy about that. I wasn't struggling.
Thank God it's over.
Yeah. But like I was struggling in different ways. Like fuck, I gotta start everything over. Like the lowest point mentally has been probably like a few weeks ago, actually, if I'm like really thinking about it. Like, but I sit there and I'm just like, yo, something good's gonna happen. Like,
but that's because you have experienced that before. That's the thing. Like now you know, like you were at your lowest point at some point in life, and you're like, I've been here before, and I know it gets better.
Yeah.
I just have to give it time. And we've spoken about giving it time.
Yeah.
And sometimes when we think that time is our enemy, because you're like, shit, the more I sit here and think about this shit, the more it eats me alive. But in turn, it's actually helping you because now you're recovering. And you've been there before, and you're like, okay, I've been here. I know I will get better. I just have to give it the time that it requires. And again, maybe one breakup took you a week to bounce back. Maybe another breakup took you a month to bounce back. There's another breakup that's going to take you a year to bounce back. Yeah. But you know you've been there before, and you know you're going to bounce back. It's just going to take some time, and it's going to take some work and effort on your part, right? Like, and going back into, like you're saying, being quiet and being on your own, sometimes that's the worst thing we can do for ourselves, because now you're marinating in that freaking sorrow, right? And you're just, in your head, you're letting that shit eat you alive. Maybe talking to Matthias, talking to Chris, talking to me, talking to other people that you're good friends with, helps you bounce back faster because you're just offloading that weight you carry on your shoulders.
Like even,
sounds smart.
Offloading, huh?
Offloading.
Maybe that's your favorite word. No, like that definitely does, because I mean, I know I definitely didn't mention to him like how bad. I know you probably saw how bad it was, but like when we were talking, when you were on the treadmill that day, what was it? Like 3-4 weeks ago, whatever that was probably around the time where I was just like, fuck, like, this sucks. Like I don't want to be here. I got no energy. I just want to I just want this to be over. Like I just want to go to sleep until fucking, what was that Green Day song? Like wake me up when it's all over.
Oh.
No.
Wake me up when it's all over.
No.
When I'm watching, I'm older.
Yeah.
Fucking hard to beat you.
No, that's a song when you're fucking
Wake me up when September ends.
yes, that one.
I've never heard it. Don't know her, Papi. Never heard of her.
Don't know her, Papi.
But like that, like that's what I felt like. I want to go to sleep because the summer's coming. Like I just want to sleep till September, and like that movie, fucking what was it, Click or whatever? With Adam Sandler.
Yeah, Adam Sandler.
No,
Like I felt like I wanted to do that, but then I'm just like, it's actually talking to you. It kind of, I was just like, you know what? I got to go through this and feel this, and like it's gonna get better. Like something good is gonna happen from it, right? Like, and I know. Like, well, actually, because if I put this online, she'll probably see it and fucking listen and laugh. But because like we still talk, just like, but like it's completely my fault of why we're not together anymore,
Okay.
right? Like I have accepted that part. It's completely my fault. But like just knowing that it was something hard, like I just felt that bad. I know I'm going to get something good out of it.
Good in return. But you were doing the right thing, right? You say when you were at your lowest point to your own accord, you say you were at the gym.
Yeah.
That's great. You're keeping your mind occupied.
Yeah.
You started talking to Matias, and you say he may not have noticed that you were probably at your lowest point, but you're doing the right things, right? You're talking to people, you're working out, you're trying to keep yourself occupied.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep myself from just staying home and like rotting in bed.
Yeah.
Because like,
And that's the best thing you can do is actually go, like I said, go out, work
like,
out, keep you doing jiu-jitsu, talk to people.
Yeah, I don't want to go out and like drink or anything. Like, as much as I did, I'm like, I just want to get drunk and fucking forget all this shit. But like, I'm not in Vegas. Like, I'm home. I got responsibilities. Like, I gotta just keep myself going till it starts getting better.
That's adult Luigi right there.
No, but I feel like the thing is everyone goes through this, and I heard somebody say when podcasts started becoming a thing, it's like, oh, here we go, another fucking person with another podcast. But honestly, like it has opened up the door for many people to share how they feel, and it's the first time we're hearing that. When people are like, oh, anxiety's on the rise, depression's on the rise. No, people are fucking finally talking about what they're feeling, how they felt.
I feel like it's always
that's the thing.
I feel like it's always been there, but there's always been that thing like, you're a man, just figure it out because no one's going to be there to help.
Like, suck it up.
Right. Yeah.
Keep
like,
no one's coming to save you.
Well,
Talk about
you are
And,
allowed
like,
to be vulnerable.
And I feel that to a point, right? Like at the end of the day, especially how like I want my family to be, right? Like I don't want them to have to rely on anybody but me, like as the man, the provider. Like I want to be able to provide for my kids. Like I want a wife who I can provide for. Like I don't want to have to be saved by anybody.
Yeah.
My wife
But,
provides
like-
for me.
Huh?
My wife provides for me.
She does, actually. You're laughing.
Baby
She
mama.
actually does.
Yep.
Well,
I would love for my wife to be able to provide for me. I would be a stay-at-home
like,
dad. I'll be phenomenal stay-at-home
like
dad.
at the end of the day, like that's what like I want a stay-at-home wife. Like I want, like I'm working.
I'll be a stay-at-home dad.
I'm working. You're pretty cute. Like I'm working for that, right? But like that attitude of like no one's there to help you through anything, like it's
not real.
It's not real. Like
not
there's like no one's there to help you like in the ways that you think you need help. They're there to help you in the ways that you like need the help.
That's it. That's actually the best way you can say it.
Like even just like talking it out, like talking about whatever it was, like that's gonna get you through to the next thing.
Talk about it. That's one of our sayings
That's
here.
our
Talk
slogan.
about it. Yeah. So, and I understand again the aspect of talking to people
and being approachable.
and being approachable. I'm very approachable. I'm very standoffish.
I used to be very not approachable. Like no one, like when people.
You would have loved me if you would have met me at that time because I'm so annoying when people are like that.
Oh yeah, we would have been.
Oh, you would have loved me. Trust me. I would have made you love me until you found out you loved me.
That sounds like some fucking weird, like the Lila song. You know?
No, that's
like some love song. No, I'm gonna make you love me, bitch.
That's like the Mike Tyson quote.
I'm gonna fuck you.
Yeah. What was it?
I'm gonna fuck you till you love me.
Yeah, when Tyson goes to the reporters, like, I'm gonna fuck you till you love me.
Oh, shit. Mike, if you're listening to us, we love you.
It's my back. It's broken. I broke my back.
It's spinal.
Spinal. Like, what do you mean you broke your back? Spinal. But yeah, it's like you said, you know, it's part of the process, and I know like a lot of people want to skip the process, like you were saying, you want to just kind of fast forward your life to bypass that. That's part of life, right? Like going through that process makes you stronger.
Yeah.
And you know that at the end of the tunnel, there's something greater and better waiting for you. You just have to get past that, right? One day at a time. Just give it another day, and give it another day, and give it another day. And you get there. You just need to believe that you get there.
Yeah.
And that's the problem with a lot of people. They don't believe that they'll get to the end of the tunnel where the better is waiting for them.
I actually saw this thing.
Damn, I'm sounding super smart today. God damn.
So I was just saying if you go a little low,
There's a lot. I forgot your tat.
So I don't know. When you said
I just forgot all about it. He just got a fucking transplant. Why don't you turn around and show the camera?
Not transplant. Tramp stamp.
You got a nice big old tramp stamp.
Go ahead, show the camera your
I'm not
tramp
showing
stamp.
the camera shit. Tell me how to live my life.
But so anyway, I just saw this thing, not even like maybe a month or two ago. I don't even know how long. But it was this guy. There was two guys working together. The one guy was always like miserable. Then he came in one day and he started being happy. And the guy was like, what happened? Like, what changed? He goes, every morning when I wake up, I tell myself I believe something good's going to happen. Right. So I saw that. And now every morning when my daughter wakes up, I tell her, I go, listen, you know what I want you to say right now? Like, I'm like, I want you to say, I believe that something good's going to happen to me today. Because I'm like, and if you really believe that, good things are going to start happening.
That's it.
So I started
the world you put in.
Yeah, I started trying to instill that in her, like to the point where she was sick. Right, I had to pick her up from school yesterday, and like she slept in my bed like last night. She wakes me up this morning, and she's like, I'm feeling a little better, and something good's going to happen. I'm going to get better, or like I'm going to get better. I don't remember exactly what she said, but she was like,
I think you have UTI. Is that what it's called?
What? TBI. UTI is a urinary tract infection.
What the fuck did that just come from? You're just talking about you got UTI.
That shit the UFC fighters get. That UTI. CTE.
That I definitely
CTE.
No, that I definitely have a little bit of. Yes, that I 100%.
So it's not UTI. It's CTE.
You have a UTI.
UTI. I've had those before. Those
hurt.
Yeah, it's all the weed, bro. It's all the weed, bro. Lay off the weed.
No, I can't. I haven't smoked in. It's been a long time.
He doesn't even remember. That's how long it is.
I'll smoke once a year when I go up to the cabin. When I go up to the cabin, when we go snowboarding, and everyone's, I'm like, all right, whatever, I'll smoke. And the next day, I'm so groggy. I'm like, yo, I came up here to snowboard. Like, why did I smoke like that? I feel like dog shit right now. Like, what's wrong with me?
I couldn't tell you. I don't smoke.
I've never done it.
It's not worth it. I haven't.
Don't do drugs, kids.
Yeah, don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs.
Well, apparently weed is not considered a drug anymore. So
Well,
it's
like a recreational drug. It's still a drug.
Nah. So it's alcohol. And so it's caffeine.
Yeah.
It's a drug.
Which I haven't had in a long time.
It's a legal drug that
Except for the large coffee
caffeine, bro.
He goes through these cycles. Like, he gave me a box of Monsters one time. I literally just finished it. It took me 2 years to finish a little box of Monsters that he gave me. But it was like he was ending it.
It was a 24-pack.
It was like he was
That's
ending
when
it.
you turn around like, yo, Matthias, come here.
It's like his last fat cigarette. It's like, yo, here, take these.
You have no idea, bro. He gave me the Monsters. He gave me AirPods. And I'm like, he's like, I swear I'm not doing anything to myself. I was like, bro, you're making this case very hard.
I bought a fucking pair of brand new headphones. And again, in my head, but this is something, again, I know you're not a cop, so it's a little different, but it's police culture that if somebody starts giving away their shit, it's like a cue that they may be suicidal or something
in the
like that.
military, that's like one of the telltale signs.
I'm like, his daughters are like my kids. I love them. They're like my nieces. All right. And I go, bro, you think one of your kids might want the headphones? I just bought new ones. He's like, are you okay? And a couple days earlier, I had a Louis Vuitton weapon that I had.
I will never give that back.
That I had gifted.
If he decides that he's good now and he wants it, he's never getting it back.
If he's good now, I was gifted that, and I'm like, I don't fucking need this shit. He's a gun guy. He loves guns. Like, he's fascinated. So I'm like, yo, bro, you want this shit? He's like, are you okay? I'm like, bro, everything's fine.
Pretty big gift. It's $5K. That's a pretty big gift,
bro. Yeah. He's my brother. All right, I didn't give a shit. You know, I'm like, hey, it's all yours. You know, but that's one of the things that they talk about. You know, with like signs that you see your friends. Again, I'm a happy fucking go-getter guy too, and I am a very sociable and outgoing person.
All right, so I have a question for you. Were you happy at that time that you were giving that shit away?
No, you weren't. No, I wasn't. I wasn't happy, but I was happy to be going. You know what? I'm giving this to somebody.
You were relieved.
I was relieved, but I was. You know what he did for me. Like, is it maybe this is the equivalence of what I did for you? Like when we talk or whatever. Being able to come over here and have two people that understood what I was going through was the biggest gift you can give someone. Yeah. You know, because when you're desperate, you know, when you feel like your back's against the wall and you have nowhere to go, nowhere to figure this shit out, you know, and you had people, I was just sitting out there like, how do you guys know these thoughts aren't real? They're like, brother, we've had these thoughts, like it's the same shit. But I feel this. Bro, I felt the same way. Did you feel like this? I'm like, how do you know? You know, so for me, that gift was
the oracle. You're not the chosen one.
For me, giving him a fucking gun that I hadn't even shot it. I've never even fired it. I was like, he'll really appreciate that gun. It was like the least I could do because I know that I can get another one for free from somebody that I do stuff with. You know, so for him, that was kind of a cool, that was a cool gift for me to give to him that maybe seemed like a big deal. Yeah. It was not a big deal for me. But, yeah, man, I think it's important for us to be able to, you know, talk about our problems, be vulnerable. You know, you teared up. I was waiting for it to drop, and it never did.
All right, he teared up a few times.
But I'm telling you right now, that part right there, just being able to be vulnerable, being the toughest guy in the room, being a black belt in jiu-jitsu, being a fucking United States Marine, being... I'm
pretty sure you choked me.
I'm sure I got all my money on a fucking plumber.
Okay.
All right.
All I need is distance.
All right, distance. What
you gotta catch me? Oh, I can do a lot with some distance.
We're talking about jiu-jitsu on the mat. You're not running.
Oh, okay.
Jiu-jitsu. Yeah. What the fuck are you talking about?
You said the toughest guy in the room. I said, really though? I can do a lot with a little distance.
Just tell him you fucking choke his ass out. Be confident.
He does. Oh, I know this.
Be confident, Plumber.
He does all the time. I know this.
So that's where we're putting money on.
If he's got that Louis Vuitton thing.
If I got that Louis with a little distance.
But if you got that Louis, then you're not the toughest guy in the room anymore.
That's what I'm saying.
Not you, him. Guy's the bitch. He's waving a Louis Vuitton around, you know?
I'm not waving it. That's the problem.
That's like when everyone's arguing with the what was that stupid argument on?
The gorilla and the 100 man.
Oh, the 100 man and the gorilla.
So
like,
fucking
dumb
stupid.
as fuck. What would you think?
So stupid. Don't even get me started.
See, I did. Nope. It's funny because I said the same thing.
Nope.
I went into the classroom and the recruits are all like, all right, well, but who would win, sir? I go, the fucking gorilla. They're like, what do you mean? I'm like, let me tell you something. Gorillas haven't evolutionized. They're still fucking animals. They're still creatures who rely on their instincts and their fucking hormones. We don't. We know how to tailor them back. There's no fucking way you got a silverback gorilla coming down here right now and any of us are going to do shit without a gun or a stick or a knife or anything.
Yeah. What do you think? It's your episode. What do you think?
Hand-to-hand combat, there's no way that we are... I remember someone's like, oh, we'll fight it. We'll bite the gorilla. You're not going to bite through this gorilla's skin.
No.
They're like, we'll choke it. A gorilla's neck is 30.
Plumber's like, you can't even choke me,
long.
bitch.
Like, even 36, it's a 3-foot round neck. Oh, you're not getting around that. No. You need 4 people to try to choke that, and they all need to be practicing
here, let's do this for the camera. Let's do a visual. Come on, let's see the
You need to figure out how to get squeeze.
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
There's no way you're choking a girl. You're just like, maybe you'll hurt its finger. Like,
it's like that Batman Superman argument.
No,
Batman's
that's
always gonna win. Superman's always gonna win.
Yeah. Superman and Batman's not even a comparison. Superman's got superpowers. Batman's got money. That's it.
Batman people swear that Batman can kill Superman.
Okay, whatever. Anywho, a gorilla versus a human being, 100 of them, 200 of them.
Yeah.
All right, what are you gonna do?
There's nothing you're gonna do to it.
Nothing.
we're great at like sidetracking.
We went way far down the rabbit hole.
Way sidetracking.
All right, hold on. Let's finish it. So you say gorilla?
Yeah.
All right, you?
Gorilla.
You?
Don't get me involved.
There we go. 100.
All right, so to bring it back before we end it all, I think
We're great at that.
And what? Before we end it all.
This actually was the first time that it took us so long to get sidetracked.
Yeah, that was pretty good. One of the things I think that you brought up that any listener can really admire is even in your darkest points, you continue to say, basically tomorrow will be better, right? You have something to look forward to. I feel a lot of people, when they choose to make that ultimate sacrifice, that's something that they've completely given up on, right? Tomorrow won't be better, so I'm just going to get done with it now. It's a choice to have that mentality. At first, you have to choose to say those things. And again, you don't necessarily have to believe it off the bat, but you have to choose to want to fight. You have to choose, even when it's the darkest and the hardest times, to say something positive will happen tomorrow.
How long does it take to create a habit?
14 days, isn't it?
Right? So, it may not be the reality at the time when you're saying it for the first time, maybe for the second time, maybe for the third time.
Correct.
But you say it enough times and you start believing that tomorrow is going to be better. And eventually, tomorrow, gets better.
Yeah.
It does get better.
And you instilling that in your children, that's one of the things that Jen and I do, even with our boys, is we try and just speak simple things to them at night. I'm strong. I'm proud of myself. And we have them repeat it. Because that's one thing, right? Believing in themselves, nobody will be able to take that away. So what you're instilling in your daughter, whether that's the changes in how you approach things, like when we first started the episode, changing your own habits, change your own mentality, right? You're taking all these giant, and I will say giant leaps and changes, because those are big, right? Those are huge, huge changes. And again, your mentality is a huge factor into what tomorrow will bring. Because if you sit there, and again, I think this is where I'm just going to bring it to cops quick. We're our own worst enemies, because everything we do, right? And I hear it from guys all the time that I work with. Oh, this fucking place this. Oh, I don't want to do this. Oh, everything's negative. And I'm like, dude, can you find one positive from being here? Can you find one And they'll stop. Like, no. I'm like, that's fucking nonsense. You're choosing not to find a positive. You're choosing not to come here to find something to look forward to. I go, so every time you come to work, right? And again, I think that's the worst part we do as cops, is I think that almost every cop does this, is all you do is focus on the negatives, where you're choosing in your darkest times and hardest times to not focus on that. You're finding that little glimpse of light, that little flicker of the candle, and you're saying, that's what I'm holding on to. That's the most important thing.
And I think jiu-jitsu helps. Well, I know it did. It helps with that a lot, because like, even if you have a shitty day, tomorrow might be like a little bit better, or like you're learning a little bit every time, and like you're learning to be comfortable when you're uncomfortable, right? Mm-hmm. And it's not even just cops that have that. Like, I was a union plumber for almost 20 years, and everybody would come in and like complain about their day and shit. And like, that was one of the biggest reasons that I stopped that, was because everyone's so unhappy. Like, I'm like, yo, I come to work every day. Everyone's so fucking unhappy. Like,
it's funny. I used to have people asking me why I was always smiling. I was like, why not? You're choosing to not smile. Yeah. I choose to smile every day. I show up. You guys know that. I show up with a smile on my face. No matter, they used to say, like, there's nothing ever wrong with you. You would never tell. I'm always smiling. Yeah. You would never know if something's wrong with me.
Yeah. Like,
it's what you choose.
Yeah.
And construction work, they're the same way. They're always like, whatever, this happened, that happened. And everyone's so fucking miserable. And it's like, yo, you don't have to be like that. Like, shit'll get better.
Choose happiness.
Yeah.
Every day.